In this video, we're going to talk all about part-time jobs, everything you need to know about getting a part-time job here in Canada. We're going to discuss in this video, from how long it takes to get a part-time job to how difficult it is, how competitive it is. We're going to discuss that, so watch this video all the way to the end.
Such a big question international students have is, when I come to Canada, can I find a part-time job? So why don't you guys tell me a little bit about how long it took you guys to find your first job when you came to Canada, and just what the process looked like?
Well, so I first started as gardener, and it was a pretty tough job, but it was really easy to apply. Talking about Kamloops, there's an agency that is called People Ready. So you just go and you have to like fill some paper and then sign some contracts. But at the end of the day, they're gonna call you at 6 a.m. and they're gonna tell you if there's a job available if you want to do it. That's more of an informal job because there was no such of an interview or process. When I applied to Winners, it was kind of tough because every student wants to apply for a job.
Yeah.
That's something that is really common in Canada. When you come and be in the university, like at least 70% of the students are working. So everyone is looking for a job constantly.
Right.
So the demand is really, really high. So yeah, you have to look at, like, if you go to the platforms, there's Kijiji, Facebook, where you can look for jobs, Indeed. And then, so you just go and apply, and you have to create your resume, go each store to store, give your resume, send an email. Then if you apply, you go for an interview.
Yeah, thanks for letting them know, like, all those platforms are really helpful for finding jobs.
And probably we have different perspective because my job is more of a retail, which is, it's kind of hard to apply, but it's like a regular job, right?
Right.
But if you go to his part, which is a more of another level of job, which you can explain that, it's a different part. But basically, you gotta go to this platform.
It's a much harder process, yeah. I would assume.
So you can go to this platform, which is you can put in the link below if you want, and then so yeah, you can look, create your resume, send it, and you have to go on, just go to store by store. That's what I did. I went to I remember I went to, there's a Oshkosh, I went to Winners, I went to Albert, like a mall, to just give my resume, which is something that you are forced to do if you want to improve your student life and you want to create like a more
so as you said, so like, if the first advice I would give to any international student before coming to Canada is, man, you need to get a job. Like, you need to find a job. Okay, so that's the easiest way. That's the easiest way, not only to improve your English, as we were saying, and your communication skills, but also as in my opinion, the best way to like count on points for your PR. And for those of you who don't know what PR stands for, is your permanent resident. So like, in the future, when you want to apply for your permanent resident and you want to stay in Canada, all those years that you were like either part-time or full-time in the summer or whatever you were doing, so like all those little background experiences in working will give you so much points and will look so good in your resume. So like, university time, it's the best time to start building your resume. And it doesn't have to be a super fancy job. It has to be just any job that shows that you have those communication skills that we were talking about in the beginning, right? So yeah, so one thing, what I did was, so like, as I said, I work as a resident advisor in residence. So I was living in residence when I first came to university, and they were offering the job, same process. Like, I fill out an application, I send it with my resume, with a cover letter. You gotta learn how to make your resume. As soon as you came here, there are tons of templates and Word.
University helps you. Which is really helpful.
The university helps you build your man. That's totally like aside from academics.
No one takes advantage of that. I've seen such
nobody does. But yeah, so like, send the application, got a response back. I did my interview, go through all the process. They make you like a little training in there. Once you're accepted, then you're good to go.
Okay, so for each of you, how long did it take you since you set foot in Canada to get a part-time job?
In my case, it was kind of fast. So for just over a weekend, I think for 3 or 5 days, I got accepted because I did an interview. I get my resume. I did, I think, a pretty nice interview, which is really important. That's communication skills again. When you're interviewing someone, or when you're being interviewed, you need to be fluent. You need to be confident. You need to know what you're talking about. And then after the two or three more days, I got like, you're accepted, you want to come. That was a really short process. I don't know.
I didn't work in my first semester. I took it like pretty much off. Like I was just getting like used to university life in here. University is very different from here than it is like in here than it is in my country. So I took the first semester off working, and then the next semester I applied for my job. And so like I'm sorry. I applied in my first semester, but I didn't work during that semester. I started to work on my second semester.
Okay. And Bruno, you mentioned that 70% of students, they have jobs there in university, right? So if someone was to ask, how hard is it to find a job? Would you say it's not very hard?
It's not.
It's not hard. You have to look for it. You have to work for it. If you want to get a job, you will find it. But it's not gonna come like super easy to you. Like this is your job. Right?
I mean, you have to work for it,
Yeah.
like everything in life. But it's just not like you don't think like. And that was one of the mistakes I made from the beginning, that I had to be this to get that job. You know what I mean? Or I have to know or have this amount of skills.
Yeah.
In order to have that job. So like don't like take off that mindset and just think that every job is for you to learn certain skills. It's not for you to like utilize all these skills that you already have. You know what I mean?
And at the end of the day, there are jobs there are people looking for a job.
Not all the jobs are like that, sorry.
Yeah. But there are jobs that, of course, there are some skills like prerequisites, which is like you want to go to an office or you want to do something really important. But most of the jobs here are delivery, are retail, just customer service, sales representative, which is not that hard to find one job. And there's a lot of stores looking for people all the time, and mostly on summer because everyone is going back to their countries, which is a really good time to apply because everyone's leaving. So everyone wants, like all the stores, all the businesses want to get more people. But it's not that hard. Even though the percentage is really high of students working, it's up to you. Like if it's okay for you to work as cleaning washrooms as being in an office, then there will be a problem for you. You can work as a retail, you can create just cook pizzas, you can be a waiter, you can be whatever you want. It's up to you if you want to get that job or not.
Okay. Now with the restrictions that we have on how many hours we can work as students, 20 hours, how much can you expect to make in a month? And realistically, if someone wanted to pay their tuition fee with their part-time job, would that be possible?
Depends. So if you're an international student and you want to pay your tuition with what you make out of your job, like assuming that your parents are paying for all your expenses in a month and you're on everything you're saving to pay your tuition, I don't know, man. I don't think so. I don't think so. I mean, what I would recommend is don't use that money to save for your tuition, because like it's not like you're not. I mean, you can use it to help your parents pay for your tuition, but like I think, in my opinion, it's more helpful if I pay for my own stuff.
Yeah.
And my parents pay for my so like, man, like let's be real. Like international tuition, it's very expensive. Like it's not cheap. So like, I mean, I on a month working like 20 hours a week and like working good, you know what I mean? I can get like a paycheck per job. I mean, and that's I'm only talking about having one job.
Right.
You can work more than 20 hours if you're working in campus. So maybe if you get like more in campus jobs, you can make it work that way and maybe have two jobs or something. But like for one job, you can make like an estimate from 700 to like 900 in a month. You know what I mean?
And that's maximum capacity, right?
Yeah, and that can pay for you, definitely for your monthly like expenses. Yeah, like that like with that I do my groceries. I cover all my daily expenses. Like I buy my books at TU. I buy everything I need to buy in my semester. You know what I mean? But and I can use that money to pay my tuition, but I know it won't cover it all. And then I will have to like my parents will then have to like give me that support in the other side, and I don't want to make them do that. So like for me, it's just I'll get this, and then
and it's just I think, sorry for interrupting you, but being realistic, like let's say right now from January to April, you won't get that many shifts because a lot of people are spend all their money on Christmas.
Yep.
So being realistic, in this month you're not gonna get enough shifts. After like summer comes, and then after summer, like from May, June to December, there's gonna be a real amount of shifts. So when I'm talking about shifts, I'm like right now I'm getting one shift, get 2 shifts, 4 hours each a week.
Right.
So the maximum amount of hours we can work is 20 hours, right?
Mm-hmm.
And the minimum wage is 13.85.
Okay.
You do the math, it's like I think 800, something like that.
Yeah, and I was talking about only working in fall and winter, but I think that you can pay your tuition with the money you make if and only if you work for the entire summer and you don't take courses for the summer. So like if you work for the entire summer and you only save and you don't buy like $9 coffee at Starbucks, you know what I mean? If you save money, you can pay your tuition, like your fall tuition. You can make some money to pay your fall tuition. But if you're taking courses and working at the same time during summer and you're paying for your summer course, like it's not gonna work.
And still, if you're looking for paying your tuition with the money you're doing by working, it's not a good idea because it's gonna be a lot of pressure, and I don't recommend that. It's better to work and pay your expenses. It could be your groceries, if you want to go out, those expenses you can cover. Because if you're thinking about all the time paying for your tuition with your monthly or weekly paycheck, is going to be really hard. It's going to be a lot of pressure to you. So I'll say I recommend. And right now we're having a little bit of a crisis, if you can say it. There's not a lot of jobs. There's not a lot of hours. And so I'll say it's better to work on your expenses rather than working to pay your tuition.
Yeah, I'm talking from I think we're both talking from a standpoint that's not taking coronavirus into consideration. We're talking about like what the world would normally look like. You know what I mean?
Right. Well, this is the new normal now, isn't it?
Yeah, so I think I'll recommend, and it's something that we've talked, which is more of create a side hustle, probably like create your personal brand. And that will be.
I want to get into that more as well, the whole side hustle, because both of you seem to have something on the side as well. And for most students, they're like, I'm going to study on one side, part-time job on the other side, and that's kind of it.
Yeah.
But you guys are doing something else as well, so I want to get into that. But just to wrap up this little subject here, if someone's coming to Canada saying, I'll pay my first semester and then I'll do a part-time job, pay for my rest of my tuition. Good idea, yes or no?
No.
So, terrible idea.
Can you repeat the question again?
If someone said, I'm going to come to Canada and save up enough to pay for my first semester or 2 semesters, and then I'm going to do a part-time job to pay the rest of the fee, is that a good idea?
I mean, if you want to pay for your tuition,
it's possible. It's possible.
It is possible. But if you wanna pay for your tuition and your daily expenses at the same time, forget it. That's not possible. Like, take that out of your mind. That's not gonna work.
That's a lot of pressure.
You have to choose. You either pay for your daily expenses or you either pay for your tuition. So, yeah, man. Like,
I think we're talking more about a mental health, healthy kind of environment.
Yeah, because if you're
a lot of stress,
doing anything except worrying about your tuition fee,
tuition, it's working, it's university, it's a student. So, and you also want to be a good friend. You want to be a good like father. So if you forget about these important aspects of life, you want to be good with yourself.
Yeah,
like healthy.
I mean, you can definitely burn yourself and have 3 jobs or 4 jobs.
You want to be happy with your, like when you're studying, right? When you're staying here in Canada, you want to be happy. You want to be enjoying this moment. All the time you're working, you're thinking about, I have to pay this. I need to pay my tuition. I need to pay my tuition. You're not gonna worry about anything else.
I mean, definitely you can make sacrifices in life.
Yeah.
Like I know a girl that that had 3 jobs, like 1 outside campus, and 2 in campus.
Yeah.
And I can imagine that she might be making a shit ton of money.
Yeah.
But I don't know how much free time she gets to do her assignments, or how much time she gets for school. You know what I mean? So like,
or free time, just free time.
Or just free time to hang out with your friends or stuff that will keep you like mentally healthy.
Yeah.
Exercise and all that. So like, you can definitely come here, burn yourself, and work as many hours as you want and pay for your tuition and your daily expenses, but it's not what we would recommend. I mean, if you don't have the money to do it and you need to do it, then go for it.
And you can always start with 2 courses, 3 courses. So you can come here to Canada and just work for 2 semesters, 2 courses each, and that's gonna be okay. Probably you can pay that by working. But if you're thinking on coming here, getting 5 courses,
yeah, but how much time is that gonna take you to finish university?
Well,
right?
That's the balance. That's what you have to balance. If what do you want to do first? You want the money, or you want to go?
If you want to come here and work and have 1 or 2 part-time jobs, and you want to pay for your tuition and your daily expenses and everything, I'm talking like detached, like completely detachment from your parents. If you want to come here and pay for everything, you may be looking at taking like the least amount of courses possible, and that's gonna take you probably like what 6, 7, 8 years to finish university.
That's a long time.
What? I mean, if you have to and there's no other option, go for it.
I don't recommend, and I think
if you have like the money to, or your parents have the money to at least pay for your tuition, and you can save for your daily expenses,
or you can always do online courses. That's
and surprise, surprise, the university is a business. If you don't have money, it's not for everyone. There is a barrier to entry. Another point I want to build on is, Walid, what you said in terms of balancing. So you're balancing your classes, you're balancing your jobs, sometimes multiple jobs. And when you graduate, you need to have a resume that has a lot of skills and experience on it. If all of the experience you have is part-time jobs and just what you've graduated with your degree and you have nothing else, you've done no extracurricular activities, what do you have to contribute to your full-time job? You don't have any skills you develop. So I think
good that you touch on that topic, because like it's not only about getting the skills that you're gonna learn in the jobs and the skills that university is gonna give you, but also your side hustle skills.
There you go. That's the whole video. How to get a part-time job, how long it takes to get a part-time job, how much money you can expect, all of that covered in this one video. Now, of course, if you do want a job, the one main thing you're going to need is a resume. I can't tell you how many people I know who don't get a job simply because they don't have the right resume. Check out this video right here, how to build your resume, or my full in-depth course in the description. I hope to see you in the next one. Take care.